how to free motion quilting feathers in 5 different ways, styles, and shapes. If you're a beginner or an advanced quilter, you have to see these videos because we have hot tips for you. Have you ever heard that song Revolution with Nina Simone singing it? Play that in your head right now because we are about to blow your mind with this very next feather. There's a lot of tutorials here in this one tutorial today. So I don't know the number, but this is the pink one. It's fourth. Okay, it's the fourth one. And you'll be, just tell me in the comments after you see this. So usually when we do a feather, we have a spine, right? So every single example we did here, we have the seam allowance, the seam jointion as a spine. We have a spine that we've traced. We have this other spine that we also traced. But the faster way to do a feather and the easiest way to do a spine is not even a spine. And I will show you how. This is possible because as we show here in the book, we have a lot of ways to construct a feather. So this way of constructing a feather is what we call simultaneous. That means that we are doing the 2 sides of the feather at the same time. It's different from what we've done until now in this class. I will call this tutorial a class because it's a lot of tutorials inside this video.
Man, it's pretty much a workshop here.
Yeah, it's like a free feather workshop for anyone who likes feather and want to do feathers. Let us know in the comments if you're liking it. So, in this method, we are doing both sides together, and I will show you what I mean. So I will start here just because I want, and then I'm going to do some bump to bump feathers. And when I get this very round area here, I will transit to the other side. So we say this a lot on orbital quilting architecture, make transition points and go into the other side. The other side. Well, so
and she still didn't learn the lyrics.
Make on through to the other side. Break on through. Yeah. Okay, so that's it. So now you can see that I'm doing this very freely because once I get another very round thing, I'm going break on through to the other side.
Yeah.
And I will start
filling up some spaces, leaving some others to fill later on.
I mean, look at this. This is already looking amazing.
This is the best way to make a filler with feathers because you don't need to mark anything and it will look super complex.
Yeah, so now I'm going to transit to the other side. And I'm going to do this to this other side. And now I'm going to do this to this other side. You didn't believe me, right? But yeah, we are doing this. So now that I am here, I'm gonna do 2 little ones here to make this curve, and then I will continue. And now that I have one curve in this side, I will do this, and I will move to the other side. And then I'm going to do 2 more here, and we are ready to go to the other side. This should be a single.
A single?
Yeah.
Jingle.
Oh, yeah, of course. So you can see that I'm filling up the space with my feather, and I'm making a very beautiful round spine for my feather. And the great thing about doing this first on your orbital board, on the actual scale of your quilt, on the very real material, in fact, space that you're going to quilt this, is that if you don't like the spacing or the size that you've done things, you can just erase it and say, oh, it will look better if I make it smaller in this area, because, you know, I would like to see more of this and less of this, because I think this is more beautiful. So I can have this aesthetic making everything smaller, so I don't have narrow, como que fala corredor em inglês?
I don't know.
Hollows.
Hallway,
yeah.
I think.
Let us know if we're talking about like tunnels. I don't leave spaces that look like narrow tunnels or kind of hallways here that I don't have.
Hallway.
Yes, Natasha, your English is great. All right, so if I'm in this narrow hallway or narrow tunnel, I don't have the space to make this very curvy thing here that is super beautiful in this particular filler. So to have that in this space, I will just have to leave more space empty as I do my first round. So I will do it very quickly, because you can always leave your questions on the...
And you can watch the video again.
That was what I'm going to say after the comments. Yeah. So I will just do this, but kind of in a smaller
scale.
Yeah. You can see that I really have trouble making things small, yeah. Awesome. I am starting to get this.
Yeah.
I love when I get this, because sometimes when we do these feathers and we get those, we have to do a little backtracking here. So then we can like start a new branch of feather. I would say like this. But in the end, this looks so cool that it's totally worth it. So this is one thing that I want, because these long curvy plumes or like feathers, they give this sense of movement that we were talking about.
Yeah.
And they are the real trick here. So you make one group like really small, and then you make that big turn and make this kind of circle.
You said big turn, and reminds me of Proud Mary, Keep on Running. I don't know why. She said turn, I don't know. But the thing is,
big turn, yeah, it says on the song.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're full of songs today. But
very musical tutorial.
More importantly, this is probably the ultimate free motion quilting feathers we have so far, because this is like the most free and freedom you can have, because we won't trace a single thing here, and we'll have this amazing look.
And you can have this construction with any type of construction for the spine, for the feathers, and for the special feathers. So you don't have to do this with the bump to bump feathers. You can try with all the different feathers that we've showing you today, and we are showing even more today, but in this video alone. So you can do this whatever you want. You just have to remember these principles. Make one curvy side and then break on through to the other side. Now I remember.
Yeah.
Break on through to the other side and do another very curvy and return to your original side and go back and make another curvy. And sometimes you do some feathers small on purpose, so you can go back and make this beautiful long round, kind of almost like a circle feather, so you can have this movement going on, and this will give a lot of movement for your design and for your filler. And you can do that in the scale that you want and in the shape that you want. And you can even use that method with a marked spine if you want like a symmetrical effect for some reason, or you know you are not feeling that adventurous. So you can trace the spine and quilt it in this way too. So this spineless feather, you will not quilt the spine, just like we did on the other tutorials in this class today. You will leave it
without
unquilted,
stitch
after
directly.
you remove, after you remove the marking, everything will be good. But I strongly recommend and cheer for you to try this without a spine traced, because the freedom that we get from it is outstanding. And when we look at it and we say, man, I did this with only myself. And we are not counting quilt, thread, machine, anything. We're just counting the ability. So you alone make this, and I am sure you are capable of that. So let's have some fun on the machine. Yay! What an adventure we are having now. So I'm starting randomly with my very curvy feather, and now I'm breaking on through to the other side. And I'm already moving. So we've chosen this kind of darker thread. So you could see that on this tutorial, but I always prefer to do a lighter thread, especially because with a lighter thread, comparing the color of the thread to the fabric, a lighter thread, I feel will always be easier on the eye. And that's awesome. So I've tried to make my feathers kind of small here, so we can do a lot of filling. And now I'm preparing to do that circle thing. So I'm doing very small feathers. And now I will start to go back like this. And I will end up with kind of a circle, actually. I will just make myself more comfortable here. I'm scrambling my sandwich so I can be very comfortable. So now I'm doing another one of this in this side, because I know I'll have to come back eventually. And because I already know that, I'm seeing that here, I'm doing one big plume in the middle, just because I've already saw what I'm doing right now. Now I'm going to come back and start this again. So this kind of treatment is completely optional. Even if you do just half side of a feather, with this method is completely okay. So you don't have to do what I've just done here, but I like to do that to show you guys what you can do, what is possible, and then you can decide if you want this. Then you have options. If I remember going through this filler, I will try to do a half feather. So you can see that also. It's just that for me, when I'm doing this filler, I actually am not thinking about what's going on. I am just transitioning from one side to the other and connecting what I'm doing to what I've already done. And that's it. That's absolutely it. And because this spineless feather is made, I'm turning my sandwich here so we both have better vision. And because I forgot what I was saying. I completely forgot. I'm sorry. I bet it was interesting though. I love this. I truly love this. As you can see, I could do this kind of treatment forever in this filler, because I feel that this adds so much movement. And when you are using a very matching thread, or you are using a clear thread, more lighter in color than your your fabric, you can barely see all this backtracking. And if you want to use a darker feather, a darker thread, just like I'm doing here, you can always change the type of plume, the type of individual feathers you are doing, so you don't have any backtracking, and then you'll have total freedom. And I'm saying this because for me, this particular thread that we are using here is kind of dark for my taste. But we decided to use this thread and to teach with these type of feathers because most people make this type of feather fairly easy. So we did what it's better for you to see and easier for you to do. But in terms of picking the right color for the quilt itself, I don't think this was going to be my option. So now I'm going to do just one side right here. So what I'm going to do is I will do one little feather here, and then I will turn my feathers, and that's what I was talking about, that you can do just one side. So you'll see here that I don't have any feather going on here, and that's okay. We just have to be mindful right now. So right here, I'm going to start a feather just like I would, like nothing was going on. And now I am even doing this because, you know, I really like to force it sometimes to see the very limit of what I can do. And I feel that these filler is a great way to do this kind of crazy thing, because we will blend it inside so many other feathers that it really doesn't matter. Yay! This is looking kind of stunning. I love it. And when you're doing this, if you feel like there is a place that it doesn't look like so neat or as you want it to, don't worry. Just keep going. At the end, everything will make a lot of more sense. So this is, I mean, seriously, I can't wait to show you guys. This is kind of amazing, actually. Okay, so now I'm going to turn to this side and this side. And this is where everything gets interesting, because I will make a curve right here so I don't end up trapped, right? Awesome. And now everything I have to do is quilt my way all this way down here, and then we will do a half feather to move out from this. And this is gonna look glorious because we are making this very intentionally. Awesome. And now I'm gonna make some very long ones. Here I'm going to start with just one teeny tiny, and now we're coming back on track. And now I'm finishing our space up. With this very pretty long feathers, which I love. I don't know if you notice, but I really love. Awesome. We are ready.